You know, there's an old prayer. Maybe you prayed it when you were little. Now I lay me down to sleep. I pray the Lord my soul to keep. If I should die before I wake, I pray the Lord my soul to take. I don't think anybody in our communities or churches much prays that anymore, because mostly we expect that our children are going to wake up in the morning. But that's not the case across the world. And there are communities and families all across the world, particularly in Africa, where mothers do not expect that their children are even going to live to be 5 years old. Malaria, as well as other poverty-related diseases, is one of the reasons why mothers do not expect their children to live to be 5 years old. Every 45 seconds, a child dies of malaria. 1 million children die every year of malaria. And it's just hard for us to comprehend that kind of disease that would affect so many people. And yet the good news in all of that is the United Methodist Church has really partnered with some others to make a big difference in their lives. And that is to eliminate malaria as a disease. And, you know, it can be done. We did it in the United States. Did you know that Francis Asbury had malaria? And see, malaria is just that disease that keeps coming back. Some people even think that St. Paul had malaria, you know, that thorn in his flesh. Well, Tarsus, during that period of time, evidently, was ridden with malaria. And so, you know, it's been a part of our history for a long time. I think St. Paul would be really pleased. And I think Francis Asbury would be really pleased to know that we're doing something about malaria. But it also affects the elderly. I have a friend on the Council of Bishops. He was the Bishop of Mozambique. He's had malaria most of his life. Whenever I see him, I ask him, how many times do you have malaria since I last saw you? He'd think about it a little bit, and then he'd tell me 3, 4 times. Every time he would go out, he said, to visit his churches, he can pretty much count the days, I forget how many it is, when he knows that he'll probably come down with malaria. And he has some other health issues as an older man, and so that only aggravates the disease for him. So the very young, the older, but also his own children too have died of malaria. So, you know, you can make a huge difference. Nothing but nets. Imagine no malaria. They're all part of a big effort to eliminate malaria, especially for those who are affected so personally and every day of their lives. So I encourage you to give, and to give as much as you can to make a difference in eliminating this disease.